Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel where today we will be taking a look at the FV3903, otherwise known as the Churchill AVRE. Now I need to say this immediately, just so that nobody freaks out and panics or nobody gets their tier 10 trauma triggered by the letters AVRE. No, this is not the same dumb tank that is at tier 10. This is not anything like the tier 10 AVRE. Can you shoot a tank anywhere and do damage? Yes. But will you be taking 500 hit points every single shot? No. There is nothing about this tank that is similar in any way to the magnitude of the AVRE. The only thing that's similar is that yes, you can hit HESH anywhere and you'll do damage, but you're not doing monster damage in a ridiculous fashion. So I want to make that very clear from the very start. Just, it says AVRE, but everybody, just calm down. Just chill out. It's nothing like the tier 10 AVRE. Right, with that out of the way, let's do a quick overview. So, it is a Churchill. You're not going to be breaking any speed records when you compare this thing to its other tier 7 counterpart premium, the Dreadnought. The Church AVRE has higher alpha, but lower pen, near identical DPM. It's got, well, the DPM is 2. I believe the Dreadnought has an extra 2 damage on its DPM value compared to the Churchill AVRE. So, on paper, the Dreadnought is better, but playing it, I find that the Church AVRE is the more consistent damage dealer. And I personally think it's more survivable, it's more versatile, the turret is certainly more nimble, the gun handling is better in my opinion. So I think it's the more consistent damage dealer, and that's because it fires HESH only when you compare it to the armor piercing, heat and high explosive of the Dreadnought. Is the Churchill AVRE worth getting? Yes, I think it is. Especially when you consider it's only 6,500 gold. And that was a beautifully led shot. Look at that. Damn, first shot of the game. Playing like that. There you go. That's, you know, lead the shot, right? And that's what you can do. Awesome. Do I think this tank is game breaking? No. It can have amazing moments. But like every other tank that fires HESH, it's going to be amazing in some areas, and other times it'll just roll for 46 damage and you've got that long reload to go. So it's like, you know, yeah, it can be amazing. Other times it just isn't. And like I said earlier, it's certainly not anything like its tier 10 cousin, the AVRE Centurion, that one at tier 10. It is nothing like that at all. Okay then. Let's dive into the details of the Church AVRE and compare it directly to the Dreadnought. The Church AVRE has 120mm of pen on its standard and 155mm of pen on its gold. Standard will do an average of 760 alpha and gold will do an average of 600 alpha. So, definitely not pay to win, which is big tick. Good. Not pay to win. Excellent. It's looking good so far, but when we compare this to the Dreadnought, which has 175mm of pen on standard and 250 on gold, and 86 on secondary, so the Dreadnought has 3 ammunition types, it's not great. Let's be honest. The Church AVRE doesn't stack up all that well to the gun of the Dreadnought, but, you know, you can't have everything. You can't put everything into one tank. So if we look purely at the guns, the Dreadnought certainly is the winner. But as we all know, you can have the best gun in the world, but if you're not able to hit anything with it, it's useless. The Church AVRE has 30 degrees of turret traverse per second compared to the Dreadnought's 18. So again, yes, the gun on the Dreadnought is the better gun statistically. It's got more potential, but if you can't get that potential onto target, it's useless. The Church AVRE has 1,500 hit points, the Dreadnought has 1,200, The Church AVRE has an unboosted max top speed of 25 kilometers an hour, while the Dreadnought can do 37. Church AVRE has 380 meters of view range and 411 meters of concealment, while the Dreadnought has 350 and 435 respectively. So there we go. That is how the Churchill AVRE compares to the Dreadnought at a high level. And all in all, I think both tanks balance out across the board. The Church AVRE is slow, but it's shorter, so it makes it easier to hide. The Dreadnought is faster, but it's also taller, so it's difficult to hide. The Church AVRE has a nimble turret with lower pen. The Dreadnought has a slow turret, but better pen. This give and take between the two is where I think this can't... I'm struggling to talk about this tank in terms of which one's better. I don't think either one is better than the other, because this, for me, based on the statistics and how they play, I think it comes down to personal preference. If you can play the KV2 style tank well, then you will prefer the Dreadnought. In my opinion, though, the Church AVRE is the more survivable tank. Why? The Church AVRE has 12.5 degrees of gun depression, while the Dreadnought has only 7 degrees. And the Churchill AVRE... well, it's a Churchill turret, basically, so forget the AVRE bit. The Churchill turret is smaller, it's shorter, and you've got more gun depression. So if you peak a ridge, there is far less of your tank exposed to take return fire, which in turn means that you can have the best gun in the game, looking at the Dreadnought. But if you have to expose so much of your tank to get a shot off that you get absolutely hammered by the enemy team, and you're dead, or you've got 100 hit points left, you can have that great gun. That's excellent. Good for you, buddy. But if you can't shoot anything because you haven't got the gun depression, you may as well not be in the game. You may as well take this tank and play it with its 12.5 degrees of gun depression and play the ridgeline and get away with it. Now, I'm just about to talk about the ability to one-bang things with the HESH. Yes, as you've just seen, you can do that. So the whole, can you take out tanks with one shot? Yes, you absolutely can. Does that make it overpowered? No, because you could do that in the KV2, which is tier 6, and you could do that in the Dreadnought already, when the Dreadnought's been in the game for years. So there we go. That is why I think the Churchill AVRE is slightly... For me anyway, that's why I think the Churchill AVRE is slightly better, and it provides a more unique challenge to the players. And for 6,500 gold, I really don't think that is too much for wargaming to ask, especially when we compare that to the other prices that we've seen in game recently. Okay, so before closing this one off, let's take a look at the economy stats. The Church AVRE has 45% silver boost, 20% tank XP boost, 5% free XP boost, and finally a 0% crew XP boost. So 0 is basically just standard, 100% you get 100% of your crew XP, no extra per game. So there we go. That is the Churchill AVRE. It's not amazing, but it's also not terrible. So again, do not be alarmed by the AVRE bit of its name. It's not like the tier 10 cousin. This one, to me, feels okay. It feels like it fits within its tier. It fits within the bracket, so up to tier 9, down to tier 6, and maybe tier 5 in some cases. Yeah, I think it fits. I think it fits quite well. Doesn't feel overpowered in my opinion at all, which is nice because I know there's been a lot of, oh, it's an AVRE. Like, no, it's okay. It's all right, folks. Calm down. It's all right. And on that note, that is all I have for this one. So if you've enjoyed the video, please leave it a like, if not a dislike. Subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you in the next one.